started right in the middle of the pandemic, but almost in answer to the pandemic, because we saw a bottleneck that was already fairly pronounced before COVID and before Brexit, where really interesting boutique producers found it extremely hard to get into the UK because they had to get in line to speak to the usual suspects, to speak to the Bibendums and Anotrias and so on. And the chances are Bibendum had 3 of what they were already offering. And if they were going to get listed, it meant probably kicking out one of their neighbours. And politically speaking, just not a happy scenario. As the pandemic bit, as we all know, the independent retail volumes soared, and the retailers were craving new and interesting and potentially more challenging, quirky wines for their growing, demanding customer base. But at the same time, the wholesalers were playing it safe, understandably, or closing altogether. We had lots of producers dying to get in, and we just thought, right, well, let's do the walls and wheels bit, which was missing from my previous consultancy, which was much more of a matchmaking proposition, and get the guys, get the producers straight into retail on a consultancy basis rather than a wholesale basis. So they own the stock while it's in the UK. They pay us a fixed retainer per month per SKU, but we price up the wines as if we were the agent. So that means all the usual COGS, including a virtual wholesale margin, are added to the wine. The reason being that we've been described as a disruptive incubator, which is much nicer than it actually sounds, because our intention is to help those producers bridge that gap, basically to go from 0 to hero over 12 to 18 months. And then they have the choice to either transition to a normal agent, or they can stay with us, or we can help the top retailers by volume to become their de facto agents. So we kind of go to help them from being no one to a conversation in 12 months' time where they're hopefully doing 100, 150 cases into the independent, which is a totally different conversation to have with a wholesaler.